Hello, people in the house. All doing today? Today we're talking about a very, very serious thing, and I am devastated and utterly disgusted to hear that there is going to be 161 post offices closed in this country. You may not know, but for the last few years they've been closing post offices left, right, and centre, and now this is a very big hit for the counties, not for cities in Ireland, because Dublin seems like, as one man said in the news today, Dublin gets everything. Dublin gets everything. As simple as that. That's the only post offices left to be in Dublin. There won't be in Cavan, there won't be in Monaghan, there won't be in Roscommon, there won't be anywhere. There'll be only in Dublin, because the government only cares about Dublin. And that's all I'm going to say. The government only cares about Dublin. Dublin's this, Dublin's that. We do this for Dublin. We don't care about the country. The country can go anywhere else. We only care for their money. That's all we care about. So we can do up the Dublin roads, the Dublin city streets, and everything else, Croke Park and everything else, the pubs visit. Yeah, sure, we might as well take the money out of the rural people who don't have a bus or don't have a car. Yeah, sure, the public transport in Dublin's more important. But this is just the icing on the cake. 161 post offices. Think about that. Think about it. Old women, old men, 64, say 70, 80 maybe, 90, 100 maybe I could go as far as going to collect their pension, say in the middle of nowhere, Donegal, say in the back end of nowhere. 100 kilometres away, say 10 miles away from the nearest post office, don't have a car, don't have any way of getting to the post office, and they have a local post office which is only about a minute down the road from them, and they collect their pension every week, €500 or something. That's not even. And then they have to go and look for some other way to get, say, 10 kilometres down the road, where they could just go a minute down the road. I mean, the thing the government don't seem to understand is, these people who are using the post offices are old citizens who have been living in this country for the whole eternity of their lives. They've been here paying tax, giving the government everything they have in tax and everything. And the government closed their post offices. It makes no sense that the government are going to close post offices. I don't know why. It doesn't take much to run a post office. These are very small post offices, very rural post offices. Maybe 500 a day it would probably cost. It's not even that deal. I mean, it'd be different if it was costing over a million a day. It'd be ridiculous amount of money to spend on it. But Jesus Christ, these post offices are the heart of the community, at the heart of people's lives, and at the heart of people's money. Because the older people don't know how to use the internet. Some good lot of the majority of the older people don't know how to use the internet. Don't even know what an online bank is. And the only thing the old people want is their pension. They worked hard and hard in their old lives, their younger lives too, to have a pension, to have a state pension, and they get their pension because they worked very hard. The young people nowadays didn't work twice as hard as them. I know people who had to work in log mills, get their fingers cut off because there was no health and safety back then. That was barely even heard of, health and safety. And he doesn't even get a state pension. After him working every day of his life. And he doesn't get state pension. I mean, what kind of country is this? This must be a communist country or fascist country. This is definitely not a republic. So many people have said, why are these post offices closed? And just pure simple. It's just pure greed, I think. It's just greed on the government's part and the post office, so it's just greed. The why these post offices are closing. And the post office authority did say that a town or a village with 500 people will get a post office. But I think they're just trying to make up the excuse that there's less people in villages and towns, so they can just close it. And the usually is a post office 15 kilometres away from somebody, and the nearest town is open, or village, which is very untrue. I mean, there's people miles and miles and kilometres and very long distance away from post offices, and they have no way of getting out unless they walk. And these are old people, very old people. These are the only people that's using the post office nowadays. The young people are not using it. So why is the government closing them? the old people who are all that have been living in the country for all the eternity, and then they close it. I don't know why, I don't know how, I don't know who is making this close, but Jesus Christ, 161 post offices. I thought there'd be only 5 or 6 closed. I didn't think it'd be this. This is like a complete shutdown in the country. 161 post offices. Good God, imagine all the jobs that we lost. And then the government's always like, we're going to make Ireland great again, not us. Well, that's American, more or less. But the government only care about Dublin. It's simple as that. They don't care. They never closed the post office in Dublin. That's the thing I'm trying to say. Every other county in Ireland was affected except the city of Dublin. Because Dublin, to them, is like the gold cake of everything. We have to make a big show off to the rest of the world, make sure everybody knows how great Dublin is. Because Dublin's everything. Everything's in Dublin, yeah. You know, just pure greed. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this later because we do have a lot to talk about with this subject, because there's a few good old counties affected and there's good old places affected. And I'm going to talk about my local county, which has 4 or 5 post offices going to close. We don't know the one. We put in post won't tell me, because I've been at them for the last day and they refuse to cooperate with me and tell me how many is going to close or when they're going to close, how many people are going to be affected. But the majority I know is 4 at the moment. We'll find out more, but I keep you updated on that, and they won't shut me up. That's all I'm going to say. They told me to be quiet about it, but I'm not going to be quiet about it, so I'm just going to talk about it because it's the freedom of speech. They told me not to make an issue out of it because it wasn't the news. Anyway, I be the news if they want to be the news. Anyway, take a fortune. If you live in the area that does, if the post office is going to close, fight for the post office. Don't stand down and let the government off with it. Fight for it. Anyway, take a watch, subscribe, and bye.